that's here tonight. Technology versus. I'd like to thank everybody that's here tonight. I know most of you are here in support of Smyth County becoming the second amendment. That's you, Rick. I'd like to thank everybody for showing up tonight. This is what democracy looks like, and I'm glad to see such a turnout that we have. I'd like to see it turn out like this, similar to this as a lot of other issues that the county faces. But tonight I know that most of you are here to express your concerns with Smyth County becoming the second amendment sanctuary county. It's on our agenda for later on. I'm going to move it up on our agenda just so we can, and so you guys can have a good rest of the afternoon, hopefully. I know it's been a real hot topic issue for the state of Virginia, so I appreciate you being here. I hope everybody keeps your patience and we stay productive tonight. So, first thing I'd like a motion to what we discussed in closed session, please.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion based on the Code of Virginia, Section 2.2-3711, that we amend the closed session to discuss A1 personnel matters.
Second. There's a motion and a second. Any more discussion? All those in favor? I'd like to ask Sheriff Schuler if he would lead us tonight with an invocation to Mr. Carter with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Everybody put their hand down with me. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for allowing us to approach you as humble as we know now. Thank you for all the many blessings that you give us each and every day. Lord, thank you for letting us gather here tonight as a free people and a free country. To voice our grievances and our wishes, and the fact that we want to remain a free people, and to serve you and to honor you with all the glory that you deserve. Lord, we're no good. We're just sinners, and we ask us for your grace, and just thank you for your love, and thank you for Smyth County. Just a wonderful place for us to live and raise our families. And Heavenly Father, go with us tonight, and just have your hand on everything that we do. For it's in your Son, Jesus' precious name that we pray. Amen. Amen.
Okay, I'm going to lead us in the pledge. First thing I want to do is everybody look at my jacket. How many of you got these orange stickers on? That's what I'm talking about. Everybody here knows what that flag over there is, right? Everybody join me, put your hands on your heart. Let's start. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank y'all. Give yourselves a hand.
Thank you guys for that. Appreciate it. Need a motion for the adoption of the agenda and the additional agenda as presented.
So moved.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to ask that on the bottom of the agenda, right before supervisor comment time, we went into closed session at the beginning of the meeting. We would like to go back into closed session based on the Code of Virginia, Sections 2.2-3711, for A1 personnel matters to continue that discussion. We can add that to the agenda. I'll second that motion.
Change my motion.
Any more discussion? All those in favor? panel as well, our county attorney, and then we'll open citizens' time for the public.
Thank you, Chip Schuler, 1815 Live Valley Lane, Sugar Grove, Virginia. Born and raised in Smith County all my life. I'm also the elected sheriff. I want to begin with reading the Second Amendment. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
Hoorah!
Read into the record my letter to County Administrator Michael Carter dated December 2nd, 2019. Dear Michael, I'm writing this letter in support of the designation of Smyth County as a Second Amendment sanctuary of the County Board of Supervisors. Many counties throughout Virginia have already taken this position. I fully support the Constitution of the United States and Virginia. I understand that this designation does not negate any law by legislation of the state or federal government. I ask that you share my position with the board members prior to the December 10, 2019 meeting. Thank you for your considerations. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to call me. I further want to read in a resolution supporting the rights of law-abiding citizens to bear arms, which was adopted by the Virginia Sheriff's Association 14 days September 2009 in Norfolk, Virginia. So obviously we were way ahead of this situation that we find ourselves in today. I'm Region 1 representative with Scott Pulaski in Lee County for the Virginia Sheriff's Association. I've already voiced my opinion to our registered lobbyist in Richmond as to how I want him to vote on all of these fire laws going in before our legislators. The resolution reads, whereas the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution provides for the right of the people to keep and bear arms, and whereas the Virginia Sheriff's Association supports the Second Amendment and the right of the people to keep and bear arms, and whereas the Virginia Sheriff's Association acknowledges and supports the restriction, possession, and transportation of firearms by those individuals convicted of felonies, and whereas the Virginia Sheriff's Association expresses concern or introduce federal legislation that specifically restricts law-abiding citizens from purchasing, possessing, and transportation of firearms for legitimate personal reasons. Therefore, be it resolved that by the Virginia Sheriff's Association expresses a sense of concern regarding legislative efforts to restrict law-abiding citizens from exercising their Second Amendment rights. That was signed by Sheriff Draper. He was president of the Virginia Sheriff's Association. I just got this as an email the other day. It's still going to be the stance of the association to stand by this resolution. Thank you.
Chairman, members of the board, people in attendance. I stand before you tonight addressing you as the county attorney and as the delegate representing the 6th District General Assembly in Richmond, representing our people regarding these issues. And also stand before you as a lifetime resident and citizen of Smyth County in Virginia. Let me say that I never thought that I would see the day when the Commonwealth of Virginia would be in the position that it sits in today. I will say to you that I have reviewed the proposed resolution as the attorney, worked with Mr. Carter in developing the same, and I think it is a proper and appropriate exercise of police powers given to you by the General Assembly, and I would urge its adoption here tonight. Let me also say as the delegate that I've been there 6 years. In the last 2 years, I've had the privilege to be able to sit on the militia police committee. Specifically last year, this same package of 17 bills that sits before the General Assembly was brought and and every one of those bills died by one vote. One vote. And I was admonished after the meeting by proponents of those bills that they would be brought back next year. And when those powers were in control, that would become law. And I told them that they better think before they jump leap, because there's a lot of Virginians that oppose that. And what I say to the governor here tonight, look at us now. I appreciate living in a county where we have a sheriff who supports the Second Amendment and will do everything within his power to ensure that law-abiding citizens are not infringed upon their right to bear arms. That's right. I appreciate each and every one of you who sit here tonight and you're about to cast a vote, and I know that that vote will be unanimous. And let me say, I sincerely appreciate your efforts in protecting the rights of our citizens, and I will guarantee you that we will fight day and night while I'm in Richmond to ensure that we do everything to ensure this does not become law. Thank you.
The next person I have signed up for citizens' time is Case Dawson. If you would state your name and address for the record, please.
My name is Case Dawson, 1220 South Fork Road. I'm a Boy Scout here today to talk to you about this. Thank you for allowing me to speak today. I have two approaches. There are hundreds of Eagle Scout projects that range from fire pits to campgrounds to trails to benches and much more located throughout Smyth County. The Scouts are called upon to complete hundreds of community services projects throughout the year. I tell you this because so many before me, I plan to complete my project here in Smyth County. My project is building an amphitheater receiving at Freedom Tabernacle Baptist Church to be used not only by the church by itself, but for the community. I do not tell you this to brag, but to share that it is because while completing my trail to Eagle Scout, I had to fulfill certain requirements. My requirements include rifle, shotgun, and muzzleloading air badges. First, we were always taught the rules, responsibilities, and dangers of the misconduct of firearms. We were always observed heavily as we are these firearms on the range and at class. If the decision is made to not allow the firearms, then it means that youth can no longer take these classes. This will discourage youth from attaining the Eagle Creek. If you're an Eagle Scout, please stand and remain standing. If you took one of these classes as a youth, please stand. Doesn't every Eagle Scout deserve towards the honorable rank of Eagle? 2. When I was 10 years old, my family divorced. Money was tight for my mom. We used her firearms to harvest deer on the property to feed us. The way I look at it is that she was putting food on the table. If firearms are taken away, then some families won't be able to put food on their tables. Please consider leaving firearms intact for citizens of the community. It just wouldn't be fair to take food away from the families. Thank you for letting me speak today.
Brian Carricker.
My name is Brian Carricker, 1220 South Fork Road. If I start cracking up, I'm sorry, I'm a little bashful. Like Case, I'm starting my 42nd year in Scout. My wife and I both are NRA instructors. We focus on teaching responsible gun Soon, the state of Virginia will recognize us as felons. I've lived in Smyth County all my life except for 8 years. That's 8 years that I went to serve my country, and I came back to Smyth County. Because I love Smyth County. I have nothing but respect for the officers and sheriff of our county. I know you read the Second Amendment, but I'd like to read something else. The conventions of the number of states having at the time adopting the Constitution expressed the desire, in order to prevent misconstruction or abuse of its powers, that further declaratory and restrictive clauses should be added, and as extending the ground of public confidence in the government will best ensure the beneficent ends of its institution. That is the preamble to the Bill of Rights and Constitution. 10 amendments to our Constitution that our forefathers and all elected officials that served beyond have felt those were rights given to us by God. Not rights given to us. They're not rights given to us by an elected official. I have respect for everyone on the stage. I feel confident that it'll be unanimous. But I'd like to tell our General Assembly the best story I've heard about this is a deer drinking water, and a coyote attacks that deer. Now that deer uses his antlers and hooves to defend himself. But if we follow the precedent that the General Assembly is setting, we would go out and cut the antlers and the hooves off of every single deer in the forest. Will that stop the coyotes from attacking? Again, I have nothing but respect for the officers of our county. I feel with the coming month, they're going to have a whole lot of overtime. But I would like to close with a statement I made 32 years ago on this exact day. I, Brian Carricker, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies. President of the United States and to the orders of the officers appointed over me according to the regulations of the Military Uniform Code of Justice. So help me God. In closing, I'd like to say those 10 amendments, the Bill of Rights, those are granted to us as rights by God, not privileges by ability. And I hope not only passing as a Second Amendment sanctuary, but Smyth County stands up and takes the lead, binds together, and says that we will never let any of those 10 be infringed. Because the step starts with the Second Amendment. Once it's gone, the other 9 are gone. Thank you.
Mr. Steve Hill.
I'd like to say thanks to the board as well, and our sheriff and our sheriff's department. These guys do a great job. They know, like we know, that we got everything. So we appreciate this, because when it comes down to it, we'll all be on the same team. And I'd like to thank all y'all, and I'd really like to thank everybody out here because we are the people and we are the militia. Give yourself a good hand. A lot of what I had on the docket has already been said, so I'll make it short. We are not criminals. We don't want to become criminals. We don't want to be criminals by legislation or otherwise. The people of Southwest Virginia, we're a different breed. We're hardy, we're tough. Times are tough around here, but we all manage. We're in it together. I hate to make it on the budget you guys get to work with, so I'm glad I don't have your job. So we're here to defend our liberty, and that means that we have to tell the state and federal government we won't allow them constitutional laws. So be it. The goal of the second sanctuary groups is to give us power to approach the Virginia legislation knowing that anti-liberty laws that they pass will be ineffective. And we believe, just like you guys do, that every one of us that's taken that oath, just like Brian Carricker, will still defend that oath today to the end. Real quickly, talking about militia, the Federalist Papers go on as describing the militia, if they had a standing army of 30,000, that the militia should be 500,000. They knew then that the population and the people would grow, and that was the figures that they came up with because the people will always have command over the military, also in any of the civil undertakings. In closing, I would like to say that those that destroy our freedoms and our rights, they are inspiring a fierce rebellion into people who would give their lives in defense of these freedoms. At the present, it's a civil conversation, and most visible right now in Virginia. We're on the news every night all over the country, y'all. This is it. This is where it starts. And if they can persist, they can feign no legitimate surprise when civility vanishes under grim, nationwide determination if they continue down this path of tyranny. In closing, I mentioned our forefathers, and 40 years from now, the legacy I hope that we leave is one of standing for freedom for our generation. I hope that they can say that if it hadn't been for those folks in Virginia in 2019, where would we be now? Sick, separate tyrannists, thus always to tyrants. Thank you.
Everybody here, thank you for coming. I want you to look at me. Very good, because I am the face of gun control. This is why I'm here in this country. Because my country took all the guns away, so we couldn't fight back. That's why we all have to leave. We all have to make living somewhere else. I was fortunate enough to come here to the land of the free. And I became a citizen. So I could voice myself that today, where I come from, I can do this. None of these people will be able to be here because it started with the gun control. And later comes the rest of the amendments. I lived it. That's why I'm telling you, because I lived it. I lost everything, my family, everything I had over there. But it started with the gun control. If you don't control your own guns, the government will for you. So take that to the bank. They will come for your guns. Like it or not. If this is the law, they'll come and get it. So we got to put in our law that they will not come for our guns in any way possible. Because you guys don't want to be looking for another country like I did for freedom. Because when you lose your gun, you lose your freedom. That's what they're doing, freedom. And looking at me, you can look yourself and say, how far can I go to look for freedom. But there's nowhere else to go. It's a sin. President Reagan said, after the United States is gone, where are you going to go? There's nowhere else in the world, on this planet, that matches this country.
My name is Carl Calvert. I'm 60. I live on 1598 Old Bethany Road. And I've only missed voting once in my life. In 1 Samuel, we read that the Philistines outlawed weapons in Israel. They outlawed blacksmiths, lest they make use swords and spears. The British outlawed weapons until trained by the Scots. The Scots were reduced to carrying blackthorn walking sticks and participating in games like the Highland Games we've all know about down here in Carolina. That's what they had to do. I know the Bill of Rights is a restriction on the government, not on citizens. Currently proposed bills, if passed, will make very commonly owned firearms a felony to possess. Now, our dear governor has told us that we're going to have a chance to register those within a certain time frame. I might cast a gimlet eye at that whole thing. Some more of these bills would outlaw citizens from assembling the train. They'll stop us from training our children and curtail youth hunting sports and shooting sports. Even the right to be free from unreasonable search and seizure is threatened. Stand with us as we stand with our God-given unalienable rights. We don't know if tyranny is going to be imposed on us in the next little bit. And I was reminded by a sheriff's prayer that the cover that y'all can help us with, but we don't want to be on the wrong side of God either. Does that make sense? Y'all don't want to be on the wrong side? You know us. We live together, we work together, we worship together, we do business together, we hunt together, we raise and school our children together. Y'all know that we're proud of our heritage here in Virginia, and that Virginia was the first on personal liberty. Amen? We do not appreciate nor accept out-of-state $250 million that seeks to threaten our liberty, freedom, and our way of life. Stand with us as we stand against this assault on our state and federal constitution. Vote with us. Vote for sanctuary states. Thank you very much.
Brady Holcomb.
Brady Holcomb, 145 Arrowhead Lane. First of all, I'd like to thank the veterans that are here today to support gun rights. I got a few stories. When I was youth pastor, my calling was to be a shepherd. Shepherd among teens and youth. David didn't kill life with legislation. He used a weapon to do so with faith. We are all called as watchmen and faith barriers. or on the wall against the enemy. Watchmen had two things in their hand. One was a trumpet. Some of us can't play that. But the other was a sword in the other. To fight the enemy would be hypocritical of me to teach our youth. To say that I will not defend my family, my United States of America, my friends, and those who have faith in what is right. As we stand here, I just got one quote from Ronald Reagan on gun control. You painted out to be the police, to be so busy arresting handgun owners that wouldn't be able to protect people against criminals. It's a nasty truth, but those who seek to inflict harm are not fazed by gun control. I happen to know by personal experience, Ronald Reagan said, you will live by Lincoln's words. Important principles may and must be inflexible. Your philosophy puts its trust in people so that you insist on being individuals being held responsible for all their actions. The NRA believes that America's laws were made to be obeyed and that the constitutional liberties are just as important today as over 200 years ago. And by that way, the Constitution does not say that the government shall decree the right to keep and bear arms. The Constitution says the right to the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. A meeting like this evening is unconstitutional. We have 41 Second Amendment sanctuary counties so far in the state of Virginia. We will protect you even though you disagree with this amendment. And by that protection, we will not protect you only, we will protect our rights to not be infringed in the United States of America.
That's all that signed up to speak tonight, and I guess what I'd kind of like to do is the people that in the crowd that agree with the well-spoken gentleman that's spoken tonight, if you would stand and show support if you agree with what's been said. Thank you very much. I guess we could stay here till 3 o'clock this morning if everybody here wanted to give their 2 cents worth, and I think that everybody's on the same page. I appreciate the respect y'all giving us, and I hope you respect what we've given you back. So, with that being said, we do have a resolution on the table that Mr. Stevenson's on the mic for.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to accept and pass the resolution in full.
So I'll ask Mr. Carter if you would mind reading the resolution.
If these people like to hear it, I'll read it. You guys got to overlook me because I got to draw about like most all of it. So when I say it, you know what I'm saying, right? And I'm going to stand right up here in front, not to block anybody. Smyth County, Virginia Board of Supervisors resolution, and it's a long one, okay? And it means a lot. Whereas the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. And whereas Article 1, Section 13 of the Constitution of Virginia provides that a well-regulated militia composed of the body of the people trained to arms in the proper, natural, and safe state, therefore, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That standing armies in the time of peace should be avoided as dangerous to liberty, and that in all cases the military should be under strict subordination to and governed by civil power. And whereas the Smyth County Board of Supervisors is concerned about the passage of any bill containing language which could be interpreted as infringing the rights of the citizens of Smyth County to keep and bear arms, or could begin a slippery slope of restrictions on the Second Amendment rights of the citizens of Smyth County. And these have a lot of ands. Okay. Whereas the Smyth County Board of Supervisors wishes to express its deep commitment to the rights of all citizens of Smyth County to keep and bear arms. And whereas the Smyth County Board of Supervisors wishes to express opposition to any law that would unconstitutionally restrict the rights under the Second Amendment of the citizens of Smyth County to bear arms. Whereas the Smyth County Board of Supervisors wishes to express its intent to stand as a sanctuary county for Second Amendment rights and to oppose, within the limits of the Constitution of the United States and the Commonwealth of Virginia, any efforts to unconditionally restrict such rights and use such legal means at its disposal to protect the rights of the citizens to keep and bear arms, including through legal action, the power of appropriation of public funds, and the right to petition for redress of grievances. Now therefore be it resolved, the Smyth County Board of Supervisors hereby express its intent to uphold the Second Amendment rights of citizens of Smyth County, and the intent of public funds for the county not be used to restrict Second Amendment rights, to aid in the unnecessary or unconstitutional restrictions of the rights under the Second Amendment of the citizens of Smyth County to bear arms. And I got one more. The Board of Supervisors hereby declares its intent to oppose unconditional restrictions on the right to keep and bear arms through such legal means as may be expedient, including without limitation court action. And the Board of Supervisors hereby declares Smyth County, Virginia, a Second Amendment sanctuary.
I might have gotten a little bit ahead of myself. Is there anybody here tonight wishing to speak in opposition? Okay, we've got a motion on the floor to adopt that resolution. Do we have a second?
We second.
I'll second it. Motion and second. Any more discussion? Majority wins. All those in favor? Thank you, everybody, for coming. Our meeting is not over, but you're welcome to stay until the end, but we'll give a 10-minute recess in case you want to go back home. So appreciate everybody coming out.
Go that way.